Melyn oedd fy nhaid, melyn oedd fy nhad, melyn ydw i'n gore yn y wlad. Melyn fydd y baban pan elw o'r byd, ond ydw yn bethryfed bod ni fel yn yddion i gyd. Ladi hi hai ho, ladi hi hai ho, ia, faldiral, ladi hi hai ho.
Hello everyone, we're on, almost lost my sandwich then. We're on the 27th day of Shorty September and our 29th book. Okay, this is basically the second to last book I need to read. Like, maybe we'll go all the way, maybe we'll just end it there. I don't know, it's a surprise, even to me. Okay, so the book for today is Becky Chambers, To Be Taught If Fortunate, and we have the book, which we may read in work today, but we also have the audiobook, which we're gonna smash on the way to work, while also attempting to eat this sandwich and not get it on my clothing. I'm walking on like a little side path thing, and it goes by the high school, so like all the high school kids are on their way to school. Like, I keep sort of like walking past them, like doing this, and they're like, like, you're clearly not cool enough to be doing that on me, like, you should stop. Remember when I said it was really good I got a new mug for my birthday, because my other mug needs to be burned. Do you want to see it? Are you ready? It's over here in quarantine because I don't know what else to do with it. Ready? Oh, how hideous. Oh, it's gross. Like, I wasn't supposed to be out of the office for like a whole month. It was supposed to be just like I'd come in and I'd do it, but then like a bunch of things just sort of like fell into place, like with my ankle and like people being off and like blah blah blah, and then I wasn't here for a month and now it's like taken over. Okay, on the Welsh language music front, okay, the project to find Welsh language music I'm into, I think I might have made like a mini breakthrough. Like, I don't want to jinx it, okay, because we're not there yet, but there was this thing ages ago with the Eisteddfod, which is like a Welsh language like music and arts festival, where this rapper called Sage Toads, okay, he was told he wasn't allowed to perform his main songs at the Eisteddfod because even though he's a Welsh language rapper, loads of his songs have loads of English in them, and like, I guess, you know, the Eisteddfod, so like the whole world is a place where you speak English, right, you know, and like the Welsh language doesn't really have a strong footing, you know, but at the Eisteddfod, that's where it's supposed to, you know, have its footing. It's supposed to sort of celebrate the Welsh language, so people were like, if you're gonna come in here and just like do like English language songs, like that's not really what we're here for. Like, if you come and you do it, like, we'd love to have you, but you have to sing Welsh language stuff, like not your normal songs, like your biggest songs that have like loads of English in them. And those people kicked off. They were like, oh, like, you're banning him, like this is sort of like a reverse sort of prejudice, you know, like in the world Welsh gets all this sort of prejudice, but now in like the Welsh setting, like English language getting prejudice or whatever, like it was a huge deal. Anyway, bring it back, that guy, Sage Toads. I've looked into his music now and I like it. It's good, yeah, but it's rap, it's like straight rap, a lot of it, and that's not really my vibe generally. My vibe, I think, is generally more hip-hop, so like a bit of rap, but also like a catchy sort of tune, do you know what I mean? So, looking into this guy, he's done loads of sort of like duos with other performers, and I was sort of like digging into them last night, and some of them like might be good, like they might be the kind of thing I'm looking for, but I gotta sort of delve into that today. At work. Like, work should be my project for today, but it's not. Okay, first things, investigate Sage Toads and all the people he's done music with, and then do Welsh class, okay, and then have lunch and then go home. It's like a bit of work, you know, since I'm here.
Llawer o bobl, dwi ddim yn nabod neb. Wel, dych chi ddim yn, falle bod chi ddim yn nabod neb, ond wedyn bod modd ffeindio rhywun I chi.
Holy shit, my Welsh class is boring as balls. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. I don't know if I can keep doing this. Like, to be fair, I did it to myself because I'm stupid. Okay, like, I had this huge hiatus with COVID from Welsh classes, and then when the Welsh classes started up again last year, I like jumped straight in back to where I was from before, and then it was like quite hard. and I couldn't focus properly, and I missed loads of stuff, and I was really panicked, and I had like anxiety. So I was like, okay, I'm not there now. I should go down. I should go down a level. But they didn't have the level down. They only had the level that I'm supposed to be at officially, and then one like really far down, right? Like available at the times I needed it to be. So I was like, okay, like what should I do? And I chose the one that was like down like several steps, because I was like, so I was like talking to this other mum at the gate as well, and she just started like straight from 0. Like she'd gotten up pretty far in the Welsh levels, but then COVID happened, and she's like, I'm just starting at 0. Like, this is a dog. I want cheese, you know, like very bottom. And I was like, oh, we're gonna be a bit bored. She's like, no, it's brilliant. Like, it's helping with my confidence. And I was like, girl, I think you're onto something. So I did that same thing. I took her advice and I did that. And to be fair, it's better than what it was before, because like no anxiety, 0 anxiety. Okay, just boredom now. And to be honest, if I have to pick anxiety or boredom, I choose boredom. But it's so boring. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, okay, that's not what I came on here to talk about. I just had it on my mind and I ramble. So what I actually had on my mind was to say about, to be taught, fortunate, I'm getting really close to the end. I'm doing really good. Partial audiobook, partial reading. And so no spoilers or anything, but it's getting interesting. So they're going to these different places, like different planets or whatever, and they've got everything set up based on maps and stuff that they'd made basically 40 years ago, right? Because all the time it takes you to get up there, all the time it takes you on each of the planets, and then you get there, blah, blah. It's really old now, this like intel. So they get to this one planet, right? And it looks nothing like what they thought. Like there's a whole chunk of like land missing, and there's these like weird creatures now that like have swarmed their ship. And now they're like, what the has happened? You know, like a whole chunk of land is missing. Like, is it that we mapped it wrong? And they're like, pretty sure we didn't map it wrong. I'm pretty sure there was some sort of like climate event or something on this planet which has caused loads of like land feature changes in 40 years. But also they were getting these like news updates from home. They're like 14 years old, mind, you know, because it takes 14 years for that information to travel, but it's more updated than what they remember from home, because it took them actually 28 years. So, you know, it will be sort of 14 years updated. Do you know what I mean? But they've stopped getting these updates. Like, first of all, they weren't getting updates because they weren't reading them. They're like, the news is sad. I don't want to listen to the news. I want to just live my life up here, and then we'll go back and we'll find what we find, whatever. But then they sort of looked and they're like, actually, they're not even sending them anymore. Like, what has happened? Like, is it that our communications are down? And they check all their stuff. The communication lines aren't down. Everything seems to be functioning. They're just not sending it. Like, Earth has stopped all contact, like that. So I've just realized now, so like I'm here, right, in the book, and I'm like, oh, I'm halfway through, you know, if you look at the top bit by here, but I've just realized now, I've just looked at it, and half of what's left now, this bit here is the story, and this bit here is extras. So I'm actually 3/4 of the way through, which gives me a bit of anxiety because there's loads of stuff to wrap up. Okay, they got loads of like story wrapping to do and not enough space to do it in. Like, if it ends badly, I'm gonna be very sad because I'm really liking this book so far, but now I'm worried about there not being enough time left to wrap everything up nicely. Okay, the next thing to do right now is I have to go running. And I have to do it before my kid gets back from cheer, because I'm gonna go do her homework. Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to go running. I don't want to do it. I don't. I think mainly the problem I have getting myself going running is less to do with the running, more to do with the changing. I have to get up and I have to take all these clothes and switch them out for running clothes, running shoes, running hair. Like, it's exhausting. Once I've got all this shit on, like, you know, the running is like less of a hassle than that. Ugh. Also, I was chatting to Bert just now, and he was saying how his caretaker at his school was on about how people use these like gel things when they're running, like long distances. They use the like glucose gel or like energy gel or whatever. It's like, you know, and then it's like a tube of toothpaste. And then it's like instant energy or instant hydration or whatever. And I remember people doing this, you know, 20 years ago when I used to like run properly, like in school. I used to run a lot. And like I know, you know, proper runners like use it and stuff. And obviously I want to do what they do because I want to, you know, I want to play at proper runner. Do you know what I mean? But I think with something like that, like there's so much concentrated intenseness. If I sort of like take that into my body untested, you know, or like not fully tested, you know, with several different, you know, days and occurrences and conditions, you know, like I think we would need to really, you know, talk about the real possibility that I would poop my pants while running, you know, like would I poop my pants? Feel like I could do, and that I shouldn't mess about with that sort of thing, you know. It's a worry. Good job, Maisy. You get those wieners. Okay. I have finished it. And I think I'm going to go with 4 stars because I really liked it. And I don't know. So no spoilers, I promise. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the ending. But I don't know how I feel about it. Okay? I will tell you that my prediction that there weren't enough pages left to fully wrap up that shit was correct. Okay? We did not get a tidy, nice wrap up, and that's not a spoiler, okay? I feel like I should have known that that was going to happen just based on the nature of the book, okay? But not only do I not know how I feel about it, my actual feelings about it could be either that I loved it and it's the best ending to any book I've read all year, or I hated it and I'm disgusted by this book and no longer want to see it around me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how potentially varied and violent my reactions could be after I digest the ending. I'm not sure how I feel. But the premise of it, the characters, the writing, loved it. Fucking loved it. So I'm going to go safe here and conservative and just call it 4 stars for the minute, okay? And just leave it at that. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk more about how I've digested it. But I think in the minute we'll leave it there. Okay, tomorrow's book, yeah? Tomorrow's book is the 30th book. So it's not the 30th day. So maybe we keep going, or maybe we stop. I don't know. But potentially tomorrow's book is the last book. It's depending how I feel, okay? So I should make it a good one just in case. I should make it a really good one. And I wasn't sure if I was going to pick this one because I think it's going to take quite a lot of brain power. And I'm not going to want to rush through it. And I thought, ooh, is tomorrow going to be an okay day for that? I need to make sure I have a lot of time and energy to devote to it. But then I read the opening page of it, which just basically explains what it is. And now I really want to read it. Okay, wait, hold on. These prose scatterings began from a need to commit an oral history to paper. Stories told, overheard, handed down, mostly in Welsh. It was no coincidence that this project began in 2015 in anticipation of the UK referendum. Many of the sections are attempts to sift through my relationship to Welsh. Some show how Welsh post-punk music enabled a love of language. Others attempt to understand what others make of linguistic difference. Some sections were written against a backdrop of attacks made upon the Welsh language. It still seems that we're in a time when anything culturally different to an imagined consensus is presented as a drain on resources or a threat. I love that, and if we don't finish the book, obviously, tomorrow, we can just move it into the next day, and move it into the next day. We're so far ahead, we have 3 days to get through one book and still have it as a book a day for the month. Kabam! Okay, I have to go. Like, I've heard the dulcet tones of my kid coming in from cheerleading, slamming the door and shouting at her dad, okay? So I got to go, mate. But if you have any thoughts, any questions, any comments from me, anything at all, please let me know. How do you feel about tomorrow potentially being the last day? Like, are we for that? Are we not for that? Like, how are we feeling? Are we getting to the end? Are we winding down on Shorty September? Like, are we tired now? Like, should we, you know, have a rest until next year? Give me your thoughts, okay? And I will see you tomorrow. Okay.